Oh, hang on. Get on the server. Also,
Yeah.
who invited two random people to the uh to the other server, not the D&D one?
The
The other one.
WVSP, I invited
Yeah.
a girl from our school, Rochelle.
Yeah, who invited her?
I did.
I did not, but I think Xander did.
Cause oh, hello by the way. Cause and I know you know this, but you need to ask before you add people.
Okay. Well, I mean, the only reason why I added her is because she was from our school. That's the only reason why.
Yeah, I get it. Like it's fine that she joins. It's just we should still ask.
Yeah, I get it.
Because she's not on there now.
Yeah. Yeah, she's dormant.
Wait, what server did he put her on?
The
He put
WVSB
her on
one.
the WVSB one.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, so nothing. It's not a major problem.
Yeah. It's
just
the final
for
countdown.
for next time.
Yeah. What's popping in the background?
Pretty sure that's
It's Gavin.
Gavin, you plan
Alright,
on stopping anytime soon? That'd be nice.
Come on, Gavin.
No, I don't plan on
Oh
stopping.
my god!
Stop.
Get in the book bag.
Gavin's like really low.
Ew.
You're
Like,
low.
well, you gotta turn up his volume.
I
man.
did. It's all the way up.
Oh,
I played No Man's Sky.
how's that?
Fine.
Because I know they updated it and they added like everything or most things that they said they were gonna have at launch.
It's more in what I'm more interested in is, that the developers made a comeback and that they're still even developing the game.
Yeah,
Alright.
that's true.
The only reason
So-
I'm playing it is because Internet Historian.
All right, before we actually start, let's wait like 5-10 minutes,
Yeah.
see if Xander pops up. If he does not, then we will continue without him.
Oh,
I mean,
Xander said he's in town.
Okay, so that's just a no.
Yeah.
No, okay.
Tessa
Well,
is still packing her bag for tomorrow.
ugh.
Ugh. Right.
So I guess it's just.
Yeah. I guess she doesn't have to wake up since we're all knocked out.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one that it hits the hardest because she's the closest. And
Yeah, so she doesn't have to wake up immediately, but could you ask her just to see how much she's got left? Because if it's not too much, I'm okay with waiting just a little longer. Because we're already missing Xander, which
Yeah.
is actually okay because he's still knocked out of the caravan. So we can
Yeah,
at least
what?
explain that.
Are you allowed to play? What is that? Oh! Wow!
Eh.
Can you put my towel in yours?
Alright, let me
Thanks, honey.
flip to everyone's spells.
I'm gonna go piss.
All right, you go
Okay.
do that, man.
You go do you, Gavin.
You go relieve yourself.
Yes.
I'm done.
Relieve yourself, fool.
I'm done. I'm done.
Alright.
I'm done.
Alright.
I'm done. I'm done.
All right, well that's good.
Oh!
I've been done for a while now.
I know, right? Same.
I need towels. I know you need towels. I need towels.
What? Reminds me of Caleb's
What?
voice. Yeah, that's what it reminds
I
me of.
need towels.
I need towel. Cosmo, I need towel. Shut up, Aqua. You're useless. I'm not useless. Shut up.
It's great. I was talking with Eddie earlier, and we went from discussing like the stuff that's going down with the one guy that got, completely dunked on by a police officer,
Yeah.
and then how everyone dunked on the police station. We were talking about that, and then it eventually dissolved into me arguing with him that he cannot, like, verify that, there is more discussion about Minecraft on Reddit than any other platform.
Yeah.
Regardless of how likely it is, he has no proof.
Yeah.
I'll pretend I understand.
I don't even know. Like,
Yeah,
I don't even
I'm
know
like,
where people.
what are we
talk
even
about
doing right
Minecraft
now? You know what I
anymore.
mean?
Well,
Like, seriously.
because, I was, I was telling them about my first impressions with No Man's Sky, and I asked why he kept calling it the Reddit game, and at first he didn't really tell me why, and he just kept saying, well, because it's the Reddit game, and then he was like, well, it's because it's almost exclusively discussed on Reddit, and then he was like, oh, well, it's the majority of discussions about it happen on Reddit, and I told him, like, what about Discord? What about fucking YouTube? And he kept saying that, without a doubt, it was Reddit, but he can't prove that. Even if he was right, he wouldn't be able to prove that he was right. Because he doesn't have access to those numbers, those figures.
Yeah.
After a point, I wasn't even necessarily arguing against him, but I was arguing...
Yeah, you were saying, I'm not saying that you're not right, I'm saying you can't, there's no way you can prove you.
Yeah,
I get that.
He just kept being like, no, I will prove it to you, or I would mention, like, well, how do you know about Discord? And then he's like, well, we're not talking about Discord. And then I would say, but we are, because you're trying to say that, it's only discussed on Reddit, and I'm trying to say...
I get that. It's one of those stupid non-arguments just that friends have.
Yeah.
It happens to me more oftentimes than I would like to admit. And
then,
you get like overly angry at each other too.
And then we got into this big argument about whether or not about whether or not laughing at about like how it's not really even ironic funny, like, this is Sparta. It's just dead. It's been used unironically and ironically into death.
I haven't even heard that meme in forever.
And he was saying, like, no, how are you supposed to, like, tell me that I can't use it ironically? And I told him, I'm not saying that you can't use it. I was just saying I don't understand the value of it. Because he goes so far as to play, like, Osu beat maps of it, and to, like, fucking spam it in my fucking DMs. And it's...
irritating?
I know he's not... I know he's enjoying it ironically. It's just to the degree he's enjoying it.
It's a dead meme, dude. Like, there's no denying that's a dead meme.
It technically died twice, because a lot of memes will have a resurgence.
Yeah, they'll have like a resurgence, like a couple months to maybe a year later.
No, I mean, like, okay. It is possible to use a meme ironically. There is this entire subreddit called OKBuddyRetard, where they take the really old meme formats. It'll be like Velociraptor, but then instead of like a shit quote, it's the entire Wikipedia page for The Great Leap Forward. Like,
oh, okay.
So they'll just take that shit and fuck it up, or it'll be Doge, except it's that one fucking robot guy from the ending of New Vegas. Lobotomite.
So they pretty much like repackage old dead memes.
And it's like, they did that with This Is Sparta for a whole 5 seconds, so it's died twice now.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, the lifespan of a meme is, like, at most, I think it's, like, maybe, I don't know, I might be being too generous, 2 months.
Okay,
That's, like, that's for, like, the ultimate memes.
there
Yeah.
are a couple different types
What?
of memes, right? So you have the bright ones, and they're usually the ones that you find maybe you find them the funniest in the moment, but then like after a couple days, it's like, okay, it's not.
Yeah,
it isn't.
it was funny the first 2-3 times. Now it's just eh.
However, there are some memes or meme formats or ideas that have actually survived for quite some time.
Well, I think like formats.
Well,
I think
no.
like formats can like survive the
something
most.
like the USSR anthem. So it's
Oh, that's
not,
used. That's
it
used a
is-
lot.
it
I know,
is,
right?
but it didn't
Yes, no.
die. It didn't die in the same way that other memes did, in the sense that. Well,
All right,
Wow.
peoples. Tessa can play.
Oh, see,
awesome.
waiting was good.
I know,
Yeah.
right? That was the
I
best
would,
thing to
I
do.
would argue that it is dead. However, it's not one of those things where it's like you recoil at the sight of it. It's just more like, eh.
Yeah, like I get,
And
I get why you're using it. It's just, you know.
It didn't die quite as violently as others did. And there are
Yeah.
a couple others like that I can't think of right now.
I mean, in my newest upload, which I think is one of my favorites, just because because all my other videos are I base them around like an actual plot. This one, I was just like, screw it. This one's just jokes. My favorite part was I brought back one of the older JonTron memes, where it was just like they were counting how many people there were there, and they're like, 1, 2, wait, where's the third one? And then it just cuts to the closet, and you just hear, "Just let me die, let me die
Hey,
in
Corey,
peace."
Did you see the space
And then
launch?
it cuts back, and the one's just like, I don't want to talk about it.
Stay in the charger.
But-
Thank you, you eye hole.
As a last thing,
Eye hole. I have never heard that as an insult before.
I know, right?
as a last
I
thing
have to
before we
learn
start,
good language.
Why?
I like that as an insult. I just have never heard it as an insult
Yeah.
before.
I've
Eye hole.
well, I'm
You
insulting you
mucus
because
holster.
Mucus
I'm
holster,
insulting you
yes.
because I hate Apple products, so
Mucus
I'm
holster.
insulting you
Apple
because
products
I hate Apple
suck.
products. There you go.
We all should know that.
Yeah, but I use Apple products.
Which I'm
so,
not hating
like,
on you for that,
it's like,
because it
it's
works
like
for
the
you.
console wars, but on a larger scale.
Yes.
And also-
What the phone game?
No, the fucking battle between iPhone and Android.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the console
Well, it's
wars.
because the
except-
console wars aren't going on anymore.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, that
It's like
and
the Bit
console
Wars.
were also, the console wars were
not
also a
making
lot
that.
more like
They're still
fucking
nerdy.
violent whenever they were happening. There are some people that are trying really hard to like get it to happen again.
Yeah.
It's just like can't now.
Like,
Okay, I'm having real questions about what's going on over
I
there,
know, right?
Audrey.
I told
I
Audrey that my mom
sounds like
needs her,
some-
and she started
sounds like
acting
some-
like a baby.
I'm not sure if I want to know
Is there
the
any
answer.
weird stuff going on over there,
questionable
huh?
Japanese
I told
stuff.
Audrey that mom needs her,
The
and she started
question on
acting like a baby.
Japanese stuff.
You know,
And then all of a sudden we just get Caleb in the background, you know?
He will never be in the background ever
I know,
again
right?
of any of these.
I know.
He ruined everything. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Dang, Corey!
I still remember whenever we were playing like fucking Starfinder or something. He was of course he was playing like Rocket League in the background. And it's like I was
Oh my
playing
God.
Halo 2 in the background for a lot of that. And I could still pay attention. And it
Yeah,
was
but
fucking-
he could. Like,
was-
okay. I mean, like, now that you say that, I would have told you too if
Yeah.
I knew that.
Yeah.
But like, it didn't seem like you were, so that's why it didn't matter. But for him, like I had like literally, I had to repeat everything.
I know. You know, and I can kind of give him a break. There are a lot of times where Starfinder and D&D can be really involved and really fun, but then there are also a lot of times like where you're waiting for other people to get through their turns, and it's like you're just sort of course you have to pay attention so you know what to do yourself.
Yeah,
But
it's like it's like this character tossed you a weapon so you could attack. Like you need to watch out for that, or else you're gonna be like,
But
okay, now what do
at the
now what
same
do I wanna
time,
do?
it's kind of like how in like a turn-based strategy game
Yeah.
where or like Civilization, where you're just sort of sitting there waiting for everyone to get through their stuff. You have to somewhat pay attention.
Yeah, somewhat.
You know, it's
Right,
not the most active thing.
Right, yeah, and
It's
of
just-
course, I understand. There's some times where you're
Yeah,
just
but
kind of
it's
lazy,
the fact that you have to pay at least some attention to what's
Right.
happening.
and
Because if
he
you don't,
didn't.
then why are you even
And
there?
exactly, and he swore he could, but we all knew he could.
Yes, and we all knew to that point that he wouldn't. And look where he is now.
I'll give him an E for effort, but
Huh?
unfortunately,
An
E's
E
are
for
part
effort.
of the grading system.
And yeah, yeah. Anyway, now that we're all here and
Let's play.
Yes,
Yeah.
let's play. Nigel is still back in the caravan, just blissfully unaware that everyone is caught in between. That everyone is caught in a civil war between Barrelopes and Wyvern Hornets.
Well,
Dragon.
Yes, he's like Dragon Wyvern. It's like, wait a minute, that's not right.
Why?
Wyvern Hornets. Dragon Wyverns.
Well, then just repeat it.
That doesn't even make any sense.
I know, right?
Because I'm here for this, but I don't know what
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So, as everyone's eyes slowly begin to open, all they see around them is yellow. It's really weird.
My least favorite color.
Oh, that's great.
Yellow is
You're gonna
gross.
love this place.
Yeah. So
What is yellow, Tessa?
it's all yellow. The floor is yellow. The walls are yellow. The ground's also kind of sticky.
See, I'm
Ew.
ew. I'm scared of the color the yellow.
Giggity.
We're not gonna go into detail, but I'm scared of that color.
Wait, why giggity?
I don't know.
uh,
Oh my god. Quagmire.
So everyone is now awake, and they know now that they're awake. They notice that they are in a jail cell in some sort of yellow room.
Well, that sucks.
I know, right?
Why couldn't it be pink? Any color but yellow.
It's
Well,
sticky. It's yellow. It smells very sweet. It actually smells pretty nice in here.
So are we in a honey trap?
That's exactly what we're in.
We're in a hive.
Yeah,
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 that's
you're-
why it's...
because what happened last time.
You was here
is-
last time.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna. It's been a week.
And it's been a while.
Our dragon wyvern, or I keep saying that for some reason. Wyvern hornet friends knocked us out, took us into the hive, and now we are in the hive's jail cell.
Where's the barrel oak?
They're also in there with us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't woken up yet.
Wow.
Where's my draggy friend?
What?
Where's Paul?
Paul, is that what
Paul
you're naming
who?
him? Paul.
Yes, his name's gonna be Paul.
Wait, why
The most
why would it be
amp-
Paul?
Hey,
Like,
who's
what's
your
up
giant
with that?
bee? Oh, it's Paul. This is Paul.
Someone,
Yeah.
someone's
That's right.
screaming,
Corey, that's racist.
Oh,
It's
but
not a
that's
bee.
just cool.
It's a hornet.
I'm
A hornet, huh?
Excuse me. I don't want to offend the.
I don't
the
want to
murder
offend
hornets
anybody,
that just got
but
into America.
still, you know what I
They
mean?
didn't
Still.
get to America. They're here every
Next
year.
they're gonna ask us to learn their language or something.
Oh, bro, learn our language, yeah.
Well, hey, that's easy for Dacius because he can actually understand.
Yes.
I need to learn that. I need to learn Dacius's spells, man.
You do. You're. Oh, is there gonna be an entire arc of just
There's gonna be an entire arc of me
just
and her having
Athena
a
trying
Uh-huh.
so hard to
It's
be Dacius's apprentice, so she can learn his magic, and he's just no.
It's gonna be an entire arc of me and her having a cold war.
I'll
Yep.
get my friend to kill you.
No thanks.
Hello.
If no, he's,
No, not
No,
no,
thanks.
Dacius is then just like, yeah, if you can talk to him first.
But first, you need
Oh,
to talk
no.
to him.
Where's
Yeah.
Paul?
You can't see him. It's just like you don't see
You wonder
anybody
why you can't see
outside
him?
the
Because you're
bars.
blind.
But you just see the yellow sticky walls.
You know, I wasn't really expecting something this sophisticated.
Sophisticated. It's
Yeah,
yellow.
aren't they just a bunch of bees?
Right?
I didn't know they could do that.
It's
Like
yellow.
Gander is just like amazed, like, no, how is there light in here?
How's that even
I wouldn't
possible?
say They're just
No.
a bunch of bees. You are in their house.
You know what I just thought of? I just thought of that one episode of SpongeBob where they were sitting by the campfire.
Oh
They were
my
like,
god,
wait,
yes.
if we're underwater,
Yeah,
and it just fucking immediately goes out.
dude, old SpongeBob is amazing. Like I
The
don't
newer
care
stuff
who you
sucks,
are.
I'll tell you
old
that
SpongeBob.
much. The newer stuff is not all that great.
Wait, if we're underwater, how's the fire?
Oh my god, it's Olympus.
That actually happened, and Gander and Dacius actually referenced a fucking SpongeBob episode.
yes. Everyone's just like, what language are they speaking right now?
What's the sponge of a bob?
Yes, what is this SpongeBob?
Anyways,
What is the SpongeBob you speak of?
I asked, what is
The
a
bell
sponge of a
tolls.
bob? Who would name their,
For whom the
who
bell
would name their
tolls.
sponge a bob?
maybe it wasn't such a good idea to ask to be eaten by the queen.
Right?
Yes. But more importantly, how do we get out of here?
The bars can't be that strong. It's
Does Dacius walk over and try to, like, pry the bars open?
yeah.
Okay,
And it's so
okay,
sticky,
let's
he gets stuck.
do a strength check. I
Oh,
swear, if you get a 20. You got... Oh, wow, you got better than I thought you did. Alright, so Dacius decides to show off a little bit, so he rubs his hands together, grabs the bars, pulls with all his strength, and all he can manage is just like a teeny tiny chip off of the edge of one of the bars.
Oh,
Right,
Teeny tiny
Dacius?
chip.
Great.
well.
I've done all I can do.
We're dead.
Okay, I've done all I can do, okay.
Hey, could Gander, you could try to cut it.
That's right.
That might be a better idea.
Correct.
So Gander
See, I'm smart.
takes out. They all notice that they do still have all their equipment. So they didn't get their equipment taken away. So Gander takes out his short sword and in 3 precise slashes destroys the cage.
Why didn't we do that in the first place?
Well, you wanted to be Mr. Try to show off my strength, and I just had to have the laugh.
Dacius glares at her just
Mm-hmm.
just for a second.
Well,
Don't well
let's go. I don't know where. Where would a queen be?
I have no clue.
That's
Where would
a
a queen bee be?
in the biggest part of the hive.
How do we?
He's
This-
the biggest part of the hive.
This all looks big, Athena.
Oh, it looks big to me. That's what she
Not,
said.
I'm not trying to look down on you or anything, but it's all big.
It's all Greek to me.
I
Grant.
said the biggest part, you dingling.
Well,
Dipwad.
it's not
Sorry.
like we could just ask one of the locals.
Oh, I will.
Oh
No!
God!
Athena, wait!
Don't do
Not
it!
again.
Don't do it, mate! Don't do
Again,
it!
She's dashing, so Athena, because it's just like a one-story hallway. We're in like the jail section. So Athena is dashing away, trying to find the nearest wyvern hornet, with the others trying to catch up.
Oh God!
Right.
Daisius is just,
Yeah.
yep, we're gonna die.
Sure about that? Seriously.
Lashana, hurry!
She's like, I can't hurry fast enough.
I don't know. Why?
When do I find a guard?
So we continue running down the path until at the very edge you see the back of a wyvern hornet standing in front of what appears to be like a doorway.
Is it Paul?
I don't know.
We're all gonna die.
You should tap it on the fucking shoulder.
Yeah.
Come on,
There
man!
we go. That's what I'll go do. I'll go tap it on the shoulder.
God.
Okay. So,
Jesus.
so Athena, okay, real quick, does anyone try to stop?
Yes, I try and stop.
Okay, I'll see if Lashana is fast enough. Let me see what your speed is, cause I don't remember. All right. So, before Athena can possibly get them all murdered, Lashana lunges at her and pins her to the ground, covering her mouth so that she doesn't make a sound. Even though
Again, I bite her
she
hand.
does make a lot of sounds. They're just all very muffled.
Yes.
I
Very
I bite
muffled
her
and not
hand.
understandable.
With my face.
Yep.
I'm biting her hand.
All right, I'm gonna roll Constitution for Lashana to see if she. Dang it, dice. Oh, okay. So Lashana is still like her senses aren't all there yet. So while normally she could handle a bite, this time she does reel her hand back in pain from the
And
bite.
I like try to like push her off.
Alright. Man, there's a mini battle going on right here. Jeez.
Don't pin me down.
She doesn't push her. She pushes her like away, but she doesn't push her down. So because again, they're all still kind of tired. So Athena just kind of gently just pushes her aside.
Okay.
But she still gets up.
I would say something, but I won't. We're on the hand.
Oh my God, Tessa!
Who cares?
I'm not saying it with y'all. I'll be right back.
She is so bad. Okay, so Lashana is still there, but
I
not.
gotta go unload the dish.
She has to
Yeah.
go unload the dishwasher.
All right. So so I guess Lashana just gives up at that
Yeah.
point. Like she just kind of shrugs, like, whatever happens to her happened.
Now I go up and tap them.
Yeah. Then
I like
the
how.
go-
See, in universe, this isn't my fault, but out of universe, it is, because I was the one who fucking recommended it.
Well, she taps the shoulder. It turns around and it's Paul.
I
Eat
hug
garbage.
It hugs her back, and
And
I
then I
feel
let
like
go, push it away.
It had to be Paul, because if it wasn't, she'd immediately die.
Yeah, I mean, I could have been that guy. You never know.
It's Paul.
I had a feeling, though.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Paul.
I'm not that guy yet.
Yes.
I gotta-
But how
I
do you
gotta be
know?
more careful.
Instant
I gotta
kill
be
dungeon traps.
easy on you guys in the beginning. You know?
Instant kill dungeon traps.
Instant, yeah.
Instant. So instant
Yeah,
it hurts.
take a wrong turn, your character dies, falls down the death pit.
Oh,
And
what
you're
the-
done.
Yes.
Sorry.
The death pit of death.
Having fun yet? No, I'm not that cruel. I
You
just
have to
may or may not have an NPC that you all like get murdered. But, you know,
Oh.
that's neither here nor there.
No.
Oh. Okay.
Well, I'm curious because I don't like any of them quite yet.
Well, we haven't even gotten to the second town yet, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we technically never got to the first town because
That's
it wasn't all
true.
there.
That's true.
Hey, you, Mr. Ant, talk to him and tell us to lead us to the queen.
He's like, do I have
Alright.
to?
All right.
Don't alright me. Say yes, madam. Actually, wait. Don't say madam.
Yes, lady.
Don't call
Yes,
me a
me.
lady.
Yes, lady, green-eyed
Alright.
lady.
So I
Passions
do the
lady.
thing.
Yes,
Even though I've
he.
already done it twice.
Yes, he's using what he doesn't what Dacius doesn't know or doesn't realize quite yet is that he is losing his magic reserves
Yes.
right now.
I'm going like to just die or something.
It's okay.
So
It's okay, we feel
but he
your
does
pain.
use the spell, so now he can understand. So Paul, as he is now being called, which is funny because I do have an actual name for him, but we'll just call him Paul.
Oh,
He is still hugging Athena right now.
and I'm trying to make him let me go.
Yeah, it's kind of getting awkward now, but
My thing is though could I not do this?
yeah, dude,
Yeah.
yeah, of course
Because
we could, you know. Audrey's not- Audrey's not gonna like this, but you
starting
could
to think-
kill him if you wanted to.
No.
I'm not saying I want to kill him. I'm just saying maybe I don't have to do this literally every time somebody wants to talk to something that can't talk.
Well, I mean, we'll get other ways eventually.
Yeah.
Wait, don't I have that thing with him where I can guess what he's saying?
Oh, you mean like the whisper thing?
Yeah.
Try and do something with that first.
With the whisper thing, you tell. I guess with the whisper thing, you can like tell him what to do. So
Yeah.
so like you can't really tell what he's saying, but you could communicate with him and tell him like show us where the queen is.
Okay.
The queen is dead.
I mean, she's going to be.
Did you hear
Hopefully.
that afterwards?
No.
Is dead. I decapitated that bitch.
Well, I mean, we can
Yeah,
maybe
like
unless
straight up,
well,
because that's how we do it around
you know. I mean, there's many choices
Right.
we have,
Oh, yeah.
and if you haven't noticed, the Barrelopes still like we didn't take the Barrelopes. They're still back in that cage.
Saturday night. Get your
So I'm just putting all the information out
Can
there.
I go back to try and get them while she's trying
Dude,
to talk?
I mean, yeah, if you want to.
Yes, I want
Take
to.
us to the queen.
Okay, so she uses whisper, and she hears his buzzing noises that he made like to her it all sounds the same. So she hears what sounds like exactly what he said last time.
Yeah.
I know you know. You can play D&D while you're cleaning your room. Your room needs cleaned up.
But he does
Okay?
let go of her, and
Finally.
he does begin to fly off.
Flying
So-
high again.
Wait,
Uh,
I want to
we-
ride on his back.
Well, you didn't tell him that. You better chase him.
Hey, get back here, Fred.
So,
Oh.
so Athena is running and shouting through the hive that currently is filled with enemies,
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
while Daisius
Oh, yeah.
is, without anyone noticing, went back and is carrying the Barrelobes. Real quick, before we do anything, I need to look at your spells because you do have to remember that you are carrying 2 enemies to these bees right now. So you might want to use another spell that could possibly make it so that the hornets don't all turn on you.
Oh.
I mean, I'm talking today about
Yeah.
Daisius.
I know.
'Cause-
I know.
Yeah. Yeah, that might be a good idea.
Okay. Let's see. Well, minor illusion came in great handy last time.
Yeah.
Okay, you already used. Why am I using that anymore? Illusory script. I'm guessing that only works if you have paper. Okay. What the heck is? Okay, hang on. I need to check this because you have a spell called Unseen Servant, and I need to
Okay.
know if that means you can just have like a ghost butler with you.
That would be kind of cool.
I want. That's the spell I want.
Unseen Servant.
My only worry is that I already have all the cool spells, so
Right.
I'll have no other spells to get
Oh no, there's gonna because
because I need to
I'm-
find more fuck off
I
spells.
will because I'm not gonna spoil anything, but there is a character that's going to literally have the most OP spells ever
All right.
that you can try to learn from if you want. Like, of course, this like by the time you meet them, you're not going to be strong enough to use any of them. So if you try, you're pretty much going to blow yourself up.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, what the heck is going on over there?
I don't know. There's probably some freaky stuff going on over there, you know?
Okay, so I was stuck in between Tessa's wall and bed, and I just got myself unstuck.
Why she made the
Well, okay then.
Why is she
Okay,
making the noises? I have no clue.
Unseen Servant.
I want an unseen.
Oh, wow. Okay, so
Is he gonna go?
pretty much you make an invisible being, like it doesn't say what it is, that can perform, like it's a mindless being that can perform simple tasks.
Okay.
So you do
it's
not
like-
have a full-on just ghost butler with you, but if I don't know if you like.
So it's like let's say I was like, I don't know, stuck in a jail cell, and this doesn't have anything to do with the situation we were just in, but stuck in a jail cell, and the key to the thing was on the other side, then I could do that and have it, like
Yes.
kick the keys over to me,
Yes.
something simple like that.
Yes.
Or he could go. Or he could probably go steal you wine.
I feel like that would be too complicated a task.
Well, I think you could tell it like, bring me this, and it
bring
will
me
bring
some
it
ale,
to you,
you know?
but it doesn't register that it's stealing it. So
Ah.
it also like only has 1 hit point. So if anything, like if it grabs the bottle and someone sees it and tries to punch it and it hits, then it's automatically dead.
Yeah.
Oh.
So using it to steal things like that aren't easy isn't really a good idea.
Yeah.
But it's invisible.
Well, yeah, but like
If they
the
see a
bottle
fucking
it
floating-
grabs is
So what if it's
invisible.
If they
invisible?
just see a floating wine bottle, I think somebody's gonna get suspicious just seeing
Right.
the fucking alcohol
Right.
walk off.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it depends on where you're at. Maybe the people there are so drunk they think it's a
Gee, I guess the fucking bourbon is the designated driver tonight, boys.
Right. Yeah, boys, the bourbon's the designated driver.
Oh,
Hop
just
on
straight up
in.
dipping.
There goes the Dragon Daniels again.
I don't know. The Dragon Daniels. Better catch him.
Maybe they're all so drunk they don't even realize it.
But I
The
don't know.
wonderful world of being drunk.
I like it. I like it. I feel like out of all of the spells, that's one of the more interesting and less like overpowered ones.
Yeah, because it's very balanced. It's you can have a thing that can steal something for you, but it can't do anything complicated, and it will die in like immediately.
Yeah. It's kind of like a really complicated workaround to telekinesis,
Yeah,
I guess.
Pretty
yeah.
much.
Like,
Yeah, because it can't talk to you.
I forget,
so-
what is telekinesis?
I think you actually have telekinesis. Hold on.
To me?
I think I know like one of the classes has like telekinesis.
I want to be telekinetic.
I forget, what is telekinesis?
I forget which one it is, but I'll just check real quick.
I don't know.
Ooh, I hope
I'm
it's
just
mine.
I'm afraid later in the game,
Yeah.
like all of our spells are gonna start meshing together.
No, I could read your all's mind.
Like that's the only thing I fear is that eventually, and I do get it. The spells I have are a bit overpowered. I honestly didn't expect the warlock would be the way it is, but I just
Yeah.
I worry that at some point,
Okay, yes, at 5th level you get telekinesis.
Nice.
So Athena. Oh well, don't worry. This game's gonna be long, so you'll get that far at least.
Okay, cool.
I don't know if you'll get any farther than that. Maybe,
I want to be able to move the animate object.
but yes, you do get telekinesis. I will also just look just to see like if any spells really, like if you guys have any spells that really overlap each other.
No, I'm worried with the spell books. Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm
that.
worried about the whole Cold War thing where we're both just
Cold
trying to get
War.
each other's spells to like overcome the other person.
Mom is allergic to this.
Oh, she is.
Mom's allergic.
Well, that also has to kind of do with like if the character decides they
Yeah.
want them to learn it. Because that's how I'm gonna have it, where it's like you can't just watch
Yeah.
them use it a bunch of times and be like, okay, this is how you do it, and then they'll be able to use it after they write it in the book. They have to. I will say I haven't decided if you have to get the other, like the person who knows it, to put it in your book,
Yeah.
or if they have to teach you how to do it and then you put it in your book. It's probably going to be
I-
the first one, 'cause
Yeah.
I think that just makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't mind, like, sharing some spells. I just don't want it to turn into a thing where it's just me and her constantly trying to get the better spell or something.
Well,
Well, I will say
Hang
if,
on, guys,
if
I'll be
you
right back.
like if you to make it more balanced, I could have it like you do spend a turn taking out your magic book and looking through it to actually find it,
oh God.
because that could help balance it.
But I
Like you
don't
do, again, I'm also just like bouncing off ideas. But if it
Yeah.
does come to that point, it could be like, okay, if
Like, I'm
let's say
fine with
we're
character
in
spells.
battle, and you want to use a spell that Athena has,
although-
then you
To be fair, I don't think we're going to get too many, like, I don't think it's going to be a thing where we'll have the time to learn, like, each other's like all of each other's spells.
No, because
Like-
it's going to take
Yeah.
it's gonna
Uh,
it'll take a long time.
so I shouldn't worry too much.
It'll take like a good couple hours to learn one from each other,
Yeah.
like
See-
in game.
Okay, so what about the wand?
So with your wand, the wand pretty much like increases like your
Oh.
magical ability.
So if I use my wand more, will that increase my magic ability?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna start using my wand.
It'll help you, like, I would say the wand is definitely to help you, like, if there's a certain area you want a spell to go, then you would point your wand to that.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna use my wand. I have my
But,
wand.
but if it's just like, you don't care where it goes, you just want it to happen, then you don't use the wand.
Okay.
Anyways,
Yes, anyways. So, Dacius is trying to figure out, or I don't know, do you want to use, because I think the only thing you can really use is your minor illusion.
I think. Well,
Which-
what's the scenario here? Like,
So pretty much, up ahead, and I'll explain like how it looks right now. But if you're on like a map, so Paul and the others are currently going through the main hall of the hive. That's where they are. Like they're just entering the main hall of the hive, while Dacius is back in the prison room, currently dragging the two barrelopes, and he is about to enter the main hall.
okay,
So the problem is that the barrelopes are enemies to the hornets. So
Yeah.
if the hornets see him alone, because Paul is with the others, so at the
Yeah.
very least, Paul is like, they'll look and they'll be like, oh, he's taking them to the queen, or taking them to like where they'll be turned into food or whatever. But since Dacius is alone and they'll see him with two of their greatest enemies, then they're all pretty much going to turn on him.
yeah. So I'm trying to think of like what sort of, because I feel like no matter what I'll do or what happens, they're going to be alerted.
See, this is a great puzzle. You told me before we started this you wanted more puzzle. This is a good puzzle.
Because let's say I were to try and wake them up. Well, then we're probably still gonna die, because then it would just be fighting through them.
Right, but at
very
the very least you will have two
Yeah.
teammates.
But I don't know how many I'd be dealing with.
Right.
You know?
But if
maybe-
you created some sort of illusion, then they could get distracted and you might be able to sneak by unnoted. However,
Okay.
that depends on what your illusion is. So I will flip to see what minor illusion exactly does again, because I know it can make I think it can make one image or one sound.
Because I have an idea for a sound. It is the most
Okay.
basic sound I can think of.
All right. But I will flip just to make sure what it. I think it just it's a thing that happens in like a certain area.
Because I was thinking I can do one really high-pitched noise, and that would alert them, but I feel like it would also, confuse them. So basically, not the best idea, because while it would probably allow me to make it to the rest of the group, it would also mean more more things are arriving later instead of less things now.
Okay, here we go.
But
So, the minor illusion, if you do choose to make a sound, you can have it play at any point in range.
Okay.
And it can be as quiet as a whisper or as loud as a scream. It can be any noise your character can think of. So, of course, like a high-pitched something, like that would work. And if you want, it doesn't even have to be a continuous noise. It can be, but it can also, like, go off and come back on again.
all right.
So now I will describe the current situation. So, Paul is leading Athena, Lashana, and Gander through the main hall of the hive. And as they're looking around, they see all these wyvern hornets. They have what appear to be like mine cart, like cart-like objects that they're pushing around. Looks like they have honey in there. They're doing the process to create honey. They're going around through all these different honeycomb-shaped doorways to get to other rooms. And it's like a full colony. They're not doing anything bad.
Yeah.
They're just living. And Daisy sees this too. He's peeking his head out of like the doorway to the prison room, just seeing like his surroundings.
You know, I was thinking for a second, like, I was, and this would be really fucking far-fetched, but, because I was like, we both look like bugs, but I don't know how stupid they are. And I don't think that would work, and I don't know how I'd do it anyways.
Could your minor illusion be like on yourself, like where you make yourself look
That's
like
a good
them?
question. That's a good question. It can be any. It can be like a visual illusion in range, right?
So could you just
Yes.
Yes. But could
Would
you like
that be in range?
could you
Yes.
disguise yourself?
I was originally going to say like, oh, well, could I just disguise myself to look like them because I somewhat look like a bug, but I think that's a bit far-fetched.
I mean, if you want to try it.
Because
I
then they
think-
would anything suspicious.
Suspicious.
I can't
Um,
say it.
But I think I wanna try the visual fuck, what is it called? Visual thing.
You want to disguise?
Because I feel like that is within the I feel like that is within the rules.
I mean, yeah.
So I think I want to try that to make myself look like them with the visual hallucination thing. I don't remember what it was called.
Yeah, the minor illusion.
The minor illusion. Even if it's just making my coloration look different or whatever, whatever would make it passable.
Okay, so Dacius decides, through a lot of thinking as the others continue to get farther away, that the best course of action would be to try to disguise himself as one of the wyvern hornets. Because if he can get them to think he's one of them just passing through, then just like Paul, then they shouldn't attack him. So he uses minor illusion, and he changes his colors to match theirs. That's all he can muster, but he's also got the two bear lopes draped over his shoulders, which does slow him down a lot because he's not really strong, but he's hoping that them over his back would like cover where his wings should be,
Yeah.
so that they don't suspect him. So he's walking through.
Oh
He,
god.
he's looking around nervously because here I'm gonna actually roll for Constitution
Oh,
because I just
Lord.
need to see how scared he is.
I hope I roll high.
Because because
I feel
this.
like no matter what, it's going to be in character, but
Oh yeah, I'm just saying like
yeah.
this is, but like, can he muster up enough like courage to not like look nervous? Because of course, if he looks nervous, that's gonna draw attention. And I will
Yeah.
say, since you already used it, the thing about minor illusion is that if anyone tries to examine your illusion, they will notice it is an illusion. Like there is no. They have to guess if it's an illusion. Since it's only minor, they will know.
Yeah. I don't think I have many better options though.
Oh no! Like you're walking through right now. You can't
Yeah.
reverse this.
Well, I mean, like even before, I don't.
Alrighty,
think
guys,
I
I'm
had
back. I
many
just had to
better
grab
options.
something to eat. I was hungry.
Regardless of what I do, I'm in danger, so
Right.
might as well roll the dice.
So, what did I miss?
A lot.
Thanks.
Well, so far, Dacius he might die
Oh no.
because he's going through. He's pretty much surrounded by possibly hundreds of enemies.
Yeah.
So you gotta
I am-
roll that
I am a
that
nervous
die,
wreck.
buddy boy.
Oh my god. Buddy boy.
Buddy boy.
He just said buddy boy.
I hope if I make it through this that that these fucking Barrelope, whatever the fuck they were, can do something. Did I?
Did you roll?
Oh fuck! I forgot.
He's like,
I
I
rolled-
forgot.
What am I rolling? A D20?
Yeah, D20. All right.
Ah!
Wait, let me see what your modifier is. I can't remember what your modifier is. Oh. All right. Okay. Ooh, okay. All right. So, Dacius tries his best to look as natural as he can with these two barrelopes draped over his shoulders. So he walks through. At first, things are going okay.
Game over, Clemmy.
Then, his legs begin to shake
Oh god.
because
Oh no.
the fear is setting in. Because as he keeps walking, he sees more and more hornets, and that that keeps setting in the feeling of imminent death.
Yeah.
And as he keeps walking, one nearby hornet does turn their head and start looking at him. What does Dacius do?
I don't know.
I
Runs
think
away.
he cries like a little girl.
Just keep walking?
Keep walking.
Yeah, walking or just running
Okay.
away.
So Dacius does not look at him. He
While
does not.
Daisy's dealing with this, Lashana and Athena have to go eat.
Okay, well, that's okay. We're just being.
I just
taken
grabbed something to
clean.
eat because I was starving. I was like, dude, I gotta
but-
grab something.
So Dacius is trying to keep it together. He's really hoping. Okay, I'm gonna have one more. You're gonna get to roll one more time.
Oh lord.
Here we go.
This is gonna be a wisdom check this time. Oh, come on!
Come on,
Your
man.
rolls are not good. I think you do have good wisdom, though.
You know, give me a break. The other characters haven't been put through this shit, man.
Right.
That is true. That is true.
Although I was the one who decided to go
Yeah,
back.
you did. This was put on you.
Yeah. I didn't realize that it would get this bad.
Hey,
Maybe
man,
I should
this-
have just
thi-
told them to wait.
This is this is the puzzle you wanted. How to get through this and not die, but
My wisdom was pretty good, wasn't
yeah,
it?
your wisdom is pretty high. So he does not look. He does not look back at the Hornet. He decides to keep walking. He does hold out a universal hands gesture that he learned while traveling around, which he isn't 100% if they also use it, but he knows it's like a universal hand gesture that pretty much means I got this.
So he's basically just saying,
So
"I got
he
this."
holds that up to let the Hornet know that he's fine. He's just doing business, and the Hornet
Taking care of
looks away
business.
and goes back to what he was doing.
Eat it.
The suspense. You're not
The
there yet.
suspense is killing me.
So he's about halfway. He's about halfway there. And the others are continuing forward. And eventually, Dacius makes it through. His legs are about to give out. He is so scared. But he struggles through, and then what he sees next almost completely drains him of any will. They're in the food making room.
Come on.
So they see, and as they all look around, of course Paul doesn't look around. He's just he's just fine. Because this is all normal to him. But for everyone else, as they look around, they see what appears to be remains of bear lopes getting wrapped up in the honey that they were creating and being melded into these oddly delicious looking balls of honey.
Yeah.
And being sent down a track. So this for a lot of them is kind of just revolting because they can see it. Dacius even looks at the two bear lopes he's currently dragging and noticing this is what these guys are doing to them.
I hope you motherfuckers can take on this queen.
and even Gander, he looks back, and of course he can tell it's Dacius because the body shape, and he's looking back, and he can see Dacius's mixture of fear and anger at these things, and Gander even though he knows Dacius can't see it, Gander just nods in
He's
agreement,
I don't care.
silent agreement.
I'm just gonna chill.
This is messed up.
Yeah, I would like to point out though that somehow, through both being scared and carrying these fucking what were they called? Barrelopes?
Barrelopes.
Barrelopes. I haven't given out yet, and Gander just sees me, and he's. I'll give him that. That might not be the first thing on his mind, but fear probably isn't the only thing that's about to make my legs go out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what's he gonna do? Gander's not stupid.
Yeah.
If he goes back and he tries to help, then that's going to alert, because he's not supposed to help. This is normal.
Fucking farther.
Right.
So I'm just trailing behind them.
Yes. Yeah, you're
Okay.
you're about everyone else is staying quiet. Lashana, of course, Lashana doesn't really care about any of this, but Athena, even though Audrey's not here, I will just say
You know what I will say? You know what I will say?
what?
What's that?
What would have happened to the Barrelopes if we would have just left them there?
That's a good question.
You know, I really don't know.
Just
That is a
really
good
good
question.
Okay, here, after we finish this session, if you want me to tell you, like, the different scenarios that could have happened, I would be glad to tell you.
Please, because I'm really hoping that me doing this wasn't in vain. You know?
It depends on how you look at it,
Oh,
to
God.
be honest. It depends on how
Oh,
you
God.
look at it. Because I will say, because there is this whole, like, sub-chapter that honestly blew out of proportion, because, like I tell you, I don't plan most of this stuff. So, this stuff
Yeah.
just happens, and, like, I have put 2 major decisions, for this mini chapter, if you want to call it. So,
Okay. I've got
that
it.
will also change what would have happened if you left Bear Lopes.
So, Theseus's train of thought is originally that if he didn't bring them along, there was a really good chance that if he did get in trouble, he was just going to be done. But maybe if they were there, they'd have a chance. But now,
All right.
And he also he knew it was a bit stupid. He knew it was a bit stupid, but he didn't know what else he could do. But now, you know, he's kind of starting to think like, and this may not be how it is. I'm sure it isn't. But he's starting to think like, maybe it was a good idea.
To just leave them?
Yeah.
No, to take them.
Oh, to
I'm
take them.
sure you're
Oh,
fucking
yeah, yeah.
my hopes and dreams and say like, oh, they were gonna go full fucking Doomslayer, and like there was absolutely no reason to take them, and they just mow through half the fucking hive. But
I mean,
I am going to stick by my decision, partially out
You
of
go and stick
embarrassment,
by your decision,
but also
mate.
because I do.
this is interesting for me too, because again, I don't know what the heck's gonna happen. I come up with a vague idea of what I think could happen.
But you
My-
really
my
don't
only
know.
thing-
I
my only
think
thing is, my
Will
only thing is,
possibly happen.
my only thing is about this puzzle is I'm pretty sure I just got by the absolute like slimmest chance, and even then I can kind of tell that you probably did bend the rules a bit in my favor.
I mean,
But it's like I would like to know what else I could have really done, because, and maybe I'm thinking too much about it, but I feel like if I were to do
Maybe
any
so.
illusion, I would make it worse, or any other like illusion where
Yeah.
I confuse them, I'd make it worse, because then the hive would be fucking alerted that
I
someone's fucking-
guess-
Well, yeah, I get it.
Well, since Audrey and Tessa are gone, and this next part does kind of hinge on them being there, I guess I'm okay with
Skipping.
going through that. So, I mean, again, with how D&D is, it's pretty much whatever you can think
Yeah.
of doing.
Well, yeah.
It's
like-
and of course I do understand your thought process is this is the best thing I could have done, which in my opinion it is. I will say the only rule I bent really, and even then I'm not even completely sure if I even bent it, is the minor illusion. I don't think minor illusion is supposed to be allowed to put an image on someone. I think it's only supposed to be an image of something.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
It's
I
very
no
matter-
possible.
but
Well, it's
I was okay with like trying this out.
Yeah.
Because I'm like you. I was Because I didn't even consider you taking the Bear Lopes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's like, because we were in a prison cell, and what do you, even before, I wasn't completely sure they were going to die, but it's like we were in a very small part of me was thinking, like, we're in a prison cell for a reason. You know, something's gonna happen to us eventually. And even then, like, we're going up against the Queen.
Yeah.
I figure we need all the help we can get. Especially
I mean,
since
I
as we
would
go up
figure
against
the same
Queen,
way.
She's gonna be calling
I mean-
for help.
Right. Yeah, and
No.
and that makes complete sense. It's just that I didn't
Yeah.
think
It would come to that.
anyone would go back and
Yeah.
grab them.
I'm
So
gonna ruin everything by picking the answers nobody expects.
I will say, if you got any lower of a roll on either of your rolls, things would have definitely gone out of your favor.
Did you bend anything there, or did I literally just get the lowest possible?
You got the lowest possible.
Okay, thank Christ. I don't want all of my success to be based entirely off you just having sympathy.
Yeah, no. There's like the whole wisdom thing, that was completely, you got the, like, if your
Yeah.
wisdom wasn't so high, you would have
Yeah.
failed.
Yeah.
He would have noticed you, and then that would be a whole battle and a half.
BFG division.
I will say I might have been I might have pushed the numbers a little higher if Audrey and Tessa weren't currently eating, because then I think we all would have been in that fight.
Yeah, we would.
Like, at
have
first it would have
yeah.
been you, maybe the Bear Lopes got up, then you'd fight together, but then we would all join in. But since they're kind of eating, they can't really do that at the moment. So I will admit I might have pushed the what you needed to roll a little higher, but you did get the lowest possible.
Okay.
Yes, and yeah, no, don't worry. If you fail something important, I will count it as a fail.
Okay. But I'm sorry. I'm thinking about how much this sucks for Dacius.
Oh yeah, no,
I
this
never
is
thought
a
of-
completely tense, really, because again, like I said, you rolled any lower, stuff would not have worked out.
Yeah.
Like, we might have had an entire arc, or, well, not really an arc, but we, like, not only did we have to take Nigel to a cleric to get him completely healed of the poison, but
You have to take my mangled.
yes, your
corpse to a-
mangled, stung corpse.
Yeah.
to a fucking.
You
like,
might
prison.
have some larval babies being born
But see,
inside
the
of
thing
you.
is you don't really know yet, do you?
So yeah, the situation sucks. Like, this entire first dungeon wasn't even like, I didn't even plan this to be the
Ow.
first dungeon.
Okay.
Oh, you're
What happened?
back.
Yes.
Nothing. No. Well, okay.
Not much,
So-
really.
Pretty much, Dacius almost got murdered, but luckily his disguise was decent enough for the
Some
other
high IQ
hornets to
players.
not notice. And now we're all currently walking through where the hornets are making their food, where they wrap the remains of bearlope corpses in honey.
Oh.
Yum.
Yeah, and we're watching that happen right now. Like, the
Well,
characters.
I'm glad I ate before this.
No, it's great.
Yeah, I'm about to fucking collapse onto the floor.
I know, right?
You're fine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay,
and
sure.
none of us
Yeah.
can go back. I mean, I guess we have the choice of going back and helping him.
No.
But if any of us
But
do
the
that,
real question is, do we want to help? That's the thing.
The only thing I could see working for you guys helping me is if I could somehow pass the Barrelopes off to the other wasp thing. The only thing I
Oh
worry about
yeah.
because
Paul?
I've been thinking about that, but something tells me in my current state I can't talk to them. So it would have to be someone else doing that. And I don't know how to do that. But for now, I'd like to just try and get through it as is.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Past the main room.
that is an interesting thing you could do.
Because I was thinking we could get Paul to fly back there and like get you and bring you up with us.
Yeah.
Well, then he'd be leaving the Barrelopes behind.
Well, no, Paul could fly off.
Paul's not strong enough to carry all three.
Paul.
He's still a bee. I mean, yeah, he's like a weird, like, somewhat humanoid bee, and he is strong, but he's not strong enough to carry two, like, practically two bears in one thing that's practically the same size as his own kind. He's not an ant. He can't carry.
Okay, so could he go back and
something
grab
times
the
his own.
Barrelope?
If you can, like, does she look back and see that
Yeah.
Dacius is struggling? Okay, so Athena does look back and notice that Dacius is struggling. So she whispers to Paul to take the two or no, you tell me exactly what she says.
Hey, Paul, you should go get one of those bears, fly it here, and then go get the other one.
Well, it's still asleep, or they're still knocked out.
So Paul, he does nod, and he does, like, he doesn't immediately fly over because he's still trying to look like our guard. So he flies slowly. He takes one of the Barrelopes and he tosses it up into one of the mine carts going down the food making station.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yay!
So now Dacius, even though fear is still keeping his legs shaky, he's not, like, he's not about to fall over now. But one of the Barrelopes, who is still knocked out, is currently going up to three of the Hornets, who are about to stab him a lot. And,
Oh well, let's just let him stab him alive.
You
Okay.
piece of shit. Now I regret this. I regret this.
Do you,
fucking
Gavin?
Entirely.
Honestly, do you?
I just
You
lost
know-
Like,
one.
seriously, do you?
I'm gonna say this, and I know, like, this isn't, like, your full reasoning, but I'd still, like, for you saying you don't care about anybody so
Yeah.
far, you are caring a lot about these Barrelopes,
To be fair,
which I do
yeah.
find funny.
it's more one of those things where it's like,
I get it. Like, you're not keeping them alive because you like them. You're keeping them alive because they will keep us alive.
Yeah.
Dacius, well, he doesn't have any emotional connection to them. He has the slightest bit of sympathy for not wanting to be turned into,
That's
flesh.
true. He is a very passive character. Yeah, so that does make sense. Okay, so this is, like, super quick because, like, he has two choices now. Or he can A, break his cover and try to save it, or B, continue on with a lighter load, or C, some third thing that I'm currently not thinking of, that you might be able to think of.
I'll continue.
You'll continue walking?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So, despite how he feels about this whole situation, he knows deep down whatever else he tries to do will only cause everyone to
Wait, can I
get in
Paul to
trouble.
Go up there and get it?
What?
You were the one who.
Yeah, you told him. I mean, if you can try if you want to, but that's going to be very suspicious.
Wait, I can make him tell the bees that the queen wants that
Can
they're
you?
alive.
Me and Gavin are on the same wavelength.
I think just let him die.
Yeah.
Well, no,
I
this is Athena's choice, because she like you guys are having
It's
a
her
Cold
body,
War
it's
right
her
now,
choice.
pretty much. Because only Athena and Dacius can communicate. So I will say, and I know you don't want to do this because you've used it twice already. But if you do activate your speak with the creatures thing, you might be able to convince them to bring it back down. Or of course, if Athena wants to try to get Paul to get him back, then
I'll let Athena try, because at this point, you know.
Can I walk over to Dacius and ask him a question?
I swear.
She's like, I really want to ask him a
I
question, but
love
I
how,
don't know what I want to
this
ask
is
him.
honestly the most tense D&D situation I think I've ever seen,
Or
and
play.
it's just a mini dungeon.
Yeah.
I am having this big this big moral conundrum, right? And this is like the first big combat, or the first mini dungeon we've been in, and I have already made some questionable decisions.
This is like if this doesn't like show just like the quality of this D&D, like,
Right.
I don't know what does.
Hey,
And
at
then
least I'm
I'm
recording
sitting
it so
here-
we have it to watch later.
I'm having this inner battle, you know. I've almost died, and I'm still close to dying.
Right?
And fucking Athena's just gonna walk up like, "Hey, Dacius, how you doing?
Yeah.
Funny
How are
costume
you
got
doing?
there."
Yes.
Everyone.
Yeah, real
With
funny.
disguise. Look at this disguise this lad has.
Hey,
How are you
everybody,
doing?
check this out. He's really an ant.
That's not what I was going to do, but okay.
No, if you want,
Check it
no,
out,
if you
dude,
wanna
he's an
do it,
ant.
I'm
Check it
not
out,
going
bro.
to prevent you guys from doing anything as
Yeah.
long as your character is able to do it. So if you really want to do something, I'm just here to help you weigh whether
The
you
pros
should
and
or you
cons.
shouldn't.
Okay, so I'm going over and asking Dacius a question.
Okay, so
ahead.
Athena decides to slink over
What the
to
fuck is
ask
he
him.
doing?
Like, Dacius is currently regretting all life choices he has ever made. He is beginning to wonder if he should have gotten into religion sooner, because maybe this inevitable end he's about to face will feel not as terrible.
You know, he's gonna be sitting there wondering if he could have at all saved that barrel oak.
Yeah, he's just like, what
Could
like,
I
what
have done
has-
it?
What have I done?
What
He's,
have I
of course
done?
he's killed things before, but he's never killed something innocent like that.
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Dacius. Or whatever,
Dacius,
Mr.
Dacius?
Ant-Man.
Don't you
I
mean
call it
Dacius?
What?
Do you want me to get Paul to fly up there and get that unconscious barrel oak that's useless right now?
If you could please, and do that and go away.
Don't tell me to go away.
Oh no.
Here goes.
Her shout, like at that moment, like even though she said it so loud, everything falls silent. All the bees in the room turn and look down. Because Athena just had to open her big mouth.
She had to open her big mouth and look what happened, man.
This is great. I love this so much.
It is
Well,
very
you're
great.
gonna do it any time now.
Okay.
I wanna-
Like all of the hornets staring down. Like
Staring down at a...
Hi.
All right. I
Let's
want
be
to.
besties.
I want to try and wake the
Christ.
Barrel on my shoulder up.
okay.
Can I whack him inside the head?
How would you like to try that?
How asleep is he?
Um.
On a scale of like,
Well,
Almost awake
like
to
everyone
dead.
got hit in the back of the head.
yeah.
So, like, I mean, he's knocked out, I guess.
Yeah.
Are we?
I'm trying to think of something that I could possibly do to like wake him up.
I mean, of course, like, I'm thinking of multiple things. Like, of course, I guess I can say what Gander is doing right now. He's pretty much like frantically, like, he doesn't want to speak because he doesn't want to die. So he's just frantically doing small motions, trying to basically be like, do something.
I turn
Anything.
to them and be like,
I am kind of. I don't know realistically if any sort of pain can wake something up. So I'm thinking maybe if I just drop it, it'll wake up. But I don't know. And that.
You never know, mate.
I mean, hey, if
Wait,
if
wait,
that's-
wait! I know what I can do.
Okay.
So I would like to ask: is it pretty much guaranteed that they're going to attack us at this point? 'Cause I feel
Possible.
like it is.
There is an this might be a little again this might be it. Of course, it all depends on what you do, but I'd say right now there's a 75% chance they will attack us.
25% is still pretty good.
So because again it all depends on what you do. So that number could increase or decrease depending on
let's make it decrease.
how much or depending on what everyone decides. Because Gander cannot do anything. Like all he can do is attack, and that's not a good idea.
Wait,
Take us to the queen.
hold up! No, hold up! I have an idea,
Okay.
and this is probably going to drain me completely.
Ooh.
What's that?
Okay.
I want to talk to somehow talk to the Paul
hmm
and tell him to detain Athena.
Oh. Okay.
Wait,
Without-
what?
Wait, what?
Here's
Okay.
What'd
my
she
process
say?
of
Or
thinking.
what did you say?
Here's my thinking, right?
Okay.
Maybe maybe if Paul pretends to like deal with her, like
Then they'll
silence
trust.
her. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I get it.
So
So he's
I'd
not
like
actually trying to tame me.
tame.
You said tame.
No, he said
detain.
detain.
Oh, I thought
Jinx.
you said tame. I was gonna say, wait, what?
Yeah, yes, he's gonna.
We're trying to
jump on your
tame the
shoulder.
beast within.
All right, I'd like to try.
Okay.
anything at this point.
All right. So Dacius uses up the last of his magic reserve
Yes.
to communicate, to understand language, and even now, which oddly enough, this does scare him more than if they made a sound. They're not making a sound. They're just staring very intently down. And he, like this of course freaks him out because he knows this is all or nothing.
Yes.
He has his eyes closed.
Okay, and just to add this extra bit, you're gonna have to roll a charisma check
Oh,
Uh-oh.
to see if he can, because Paul listens to Athena,
yeah.
but will he listen to
Oh!
Dacius?
Yes!
That's
What do you
he
get?
said.
I got a 20.
20.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my god, dude, that's
Whoa.
insane, bro.
Okay, so Dacius,
My burning resolve. I don't want to die.
yes, like they're on death's door. He doesn't want to die, so he closes
knock
his
on it?
eyes. He takes a deep breath, and with the most calm and collected composure he can have at this moment, he decides, and I'm going to allow you to actually say this, but he begins to act like one of the Hornets, and he begins to say how these humans, or well, they're not humans, but these creatures were meant for offerings to the queen. However, this one is not cooperating, so we must capture her. So I will let Dacius
We have arrived.
elaborate.
We have arrived with offerings to the queen. We are to take these creatures to the queen's chambers, to her directly. Most of them are cooperating aside from this one. This one must be detained and forcefully brought to the chamber, but under no circumstances should any harm be brought to her.
They Paul he nods. He doesn't say anything, but he does nod to just like agree, like, yes, that's what we should do.
Yeah.
Then and Dacius just hears, and he hears like, even though it's a simple response, he not only hears how brain dead most of these creatures are, but he can practically hear how much they just want to murder Athena, as they all say yes, like just continuously.
It's just
they
nonstop.
continue
Yes,
saying yes as they all swarm down towards Athena.
Oh, frick. Let's be friends.
Oh, you motherfucker, man.
So Dacius continues to look calm, as if he is one of their own, still with the bear loaf draped over him, and all of the Hornets in the room completely surround Athena. You can't even see her anymore. It's just a big, like, they're completely surrounding her. And it's kind of odd because, like, they form like a dome around her, and there's so many around her that they lift her up.
Oh,
And she's just like in a dome of bees.
Oh, that's
this
pleasant.
is not the type of love I want.
Yes, so Athena's currently just freaking out, and she is mentally noting that she will pay Dacius back for this later.
I'm moving.
And the bees carry Athena on a head down an oddly regal looking double honeycomb doorway which
Oh,
must be the doorway to the queen.
crap.
So with all the bees in the food chamber gone, Gander finally lets out a breath.
I see how it is.
Why did this happen?
It's hard to tell why. All we know is we're safe.
I've lived in the future where death is only a mile away. And here I have felt more threatened for my life.
Good.
How close am I to Gander right now?
You're like 5 feet away. Like you're not that far.
Can we please not talk about it right now?
Agreed. And of course, Lashana just has no comment.
Donna is laughing.
She's just laughing.
Yes.
She's just maniacally giggling to herself.
Oh, thanks, Tessa.
Yes.
Don't worry, I have a plan to get all of y'all back.
What did I do?
Yeah, what did I do, fool?
It's
Did you
okay.
want me to attack them?
No, I just have a plan to get Dacius and Lashana back.
Okay.
Oh, me and Athena are gonna have a fun argument.
Oh yes. Oh
Yes.
yeah, like you, the character dynamic is already like it was kind of there before, but I think this is the pivotal moment where their hatred for each other.
And this is what
begins
gets
to
the ball
show.
rolling for them.
All right, so with no other choice, or well, I guess that there is choice, but so I will ask: do you want to continue into the queen's room?
Well, there might be other choices, but I don't know how many of them lead us to our goal. So,
All right,
I'm all for just continuing forward.
down the hall they go. And
Okay.
as they enter the room, they notice that the hornets must love their cages because even though these hornets are again like really big, they somehow came together and formed a bee-made cage to hold Athena.
Yeah.
Pretty much just
Bruh.
so they can show the queen, like, here, this is the food bride. So as Gander, Dacius, and Lashana enter the room,
Those are my socks.
they see the gargantuan queen.
I don't know what that word means.
Gigantic. She's big.
Wow,
She-
Tessa.
she's a big queen.
She's
'Cause
very
she's a
big.
queen bee.
That was smart, Audrey.
Her
And you're supposed to be a
and
Ravenclaw.
unlike
Oh, hurrah, she's a
and
big
as they
gay.
go in, surprisingly enough, they think as they look up at the queen, they can feel just this aura of murder.
Yeah.
Like every other wyvern hornet so far. Like yes, they've
Yeah.
been dangerous,
So in
but
other words, they-
without bugging them, they couldn't without bugging them. They seem pretty tame. But as they look up at this queen staring
Today at
down
9:12
at them,
p.m. Hurry
they
on the
just
booth today and list
feel
33
like
items.
this is
Discord.
a monster.
I'm sorry, you'll be on
this
tomorrow.
thing.
Tell them shut up, please.
And just looking
Marianne
at it,
in the
they
booth.
can tell her
Have to
wings
activate
are
tap and hold to long press.
gigantic, just taking
assistant
up
off.
most of the room.
What-
And instead of just one giant stinger, because
Me-
that would just be too average, she has 2 additional stingers that are a little bit smaller than her main one.
The Charters really had fun creating this one. No one else will understand what I said, but okay.
Yeah, no, I don't get the reference.
It's a Percy Jackson thing.
I got that.
Who is Percy Jackson?
You are.
I'm probably very dumb sounding for this, but who are they?
Yes.
Or who is he?
Percy
Oh,
Jackson
okay.
is a book series that
It revolves
With the
around
main-
Greek mythology.
I'm.
Uh,
There's a pain right here, Tessa.
I
Right
know.
here.
Same.
It's okay. Anyway, continuing.
Disgraceful.
Okay, so we're so we're currently staring up at this queen. Well, Dacius, since you made that amazing claim
yes.
about them having to take Gander and Lashana and Athena Queen, it is your job to tell her that. Like, even Paul is like staring at you, thinking like, "Go on, you got to tell her. Like, this is your job."
It is your job, isn't it, mate?
I'm just staring at Paul like, help.
I'm trying because I have a couple ideas.
me.
She is staring like the black.
The look on her
her
face is like,
eyes
help me.
would look soulless if they didn't look so just malicious.
Yes. Beauty's in the
Like,
eye
the
of the
only
beholder.
thing you see in her eyes is just black, what appears to just be hate for something.
Many of the nearby spirits have
Yes.
spoken
Creation
of this
partner.
hive's power and of its greatness, and of the blight that are these creatures. I have been sent here to give you an offering.
I see. She glares intently down at him, and he isn't sure. And he isn't sure if she saw through his illusion or not. And then Paul looks at him, and he said, "You must bring the offering up to her. That is
Alright.
what we do."
So,
This is
What
what
I'm
we
going to-
do.
what
None
I'm
of
doing.
your crap.
We
I
make a
am-
move, act a fool while we up in the club.
I'm trying to think because I have this
100%, yo.
idea of while I was bringing the barrel up to her, somewhat trying to wake it up, but
Wake up!
because ultimately we have to fight, right? Like we have to kill it sometime.
You must fight.
Yeah,
There is no way to solve
Yeah.
this conflict peacefully.
Okay,
so I'm
Um,
thinking.
befriend. Can I use my befriend thing?
Hold up.
Actually, I will, because it is Gavin's.
Yeah, no,
Since
I know.
Dacius still has to talk, but you can use befriend.
Okay.
All right.
You do have that option.
Okay.
So I'm walking up to her.
Okay,
Like
bringing the others with you. Gander looks at you and he just whispers, "You better have a good plan."
all right, and I tell her I would wish to give this offering to you in peace, since I did not come across it easily.
Yeah.
So she you couldn't see it before, but now you notice that she does have like two very long arms. Like they are eerily long. She reaches one out, and with her thumb and pointer finger, she picks up the barrel off of his shoulder and lifts it in the air. "You have done well." She's like kind of like moving him around in the air. And then his eyes finally open as he's being moved in the air, and he looks around. What happened? Are we in the hive? And then he turns, and he silently gasps as he sees the queen. Your reign of terror will end very soon.
Oh God!
As she turns her hand, like up the other way and drops him into it, and then without a moment's notice, closes her hand into a fist, crushing the barrel.
Oh no!
I was thinking to do something a bit more,
Were you now?
but you know. Now can we please do negotiations in peace?
Did he actually say that?
Yes.
Okay. So, after the bloody remains drip out of her hands, she stares. Did you really think that I couldn't see past your illusion?
Demon, I have had to do many things up until this point. If I so happen to die by the hands of another bug, with the 2 lives that I have just led to be ended, I think it'd be fair.
Die? Die?
Oh no!
She begins laughing hysterically. You've done me a great service. Why would I let a great worker such as yourself be killed?
What are you getting at?
Answer is unknown.
They didn't tell you the rest of the story, did they?
But how did you know?
The circle of life. Be such a cruel mistress, can't we? Aren't just killing these creatures just for some food. You see, there's a small kingdom not too far past this forest that used to be our home. However, we soon learned of their plot to burn it down. So we thought if we came here, lived in this forest, we could turn them away. That is when we met the Bearlopes.
Aha.
At first, things were peaceful between us. But then, after we had told them of the kingdom's plot, they devised one of their own. They wanted to burn their entire kingdom, full of many rings such as our own, down to nothing but ashes, when they had done nothing to them. So might I ask you, traveler, who is the true monster?
The true monster? Is it a relevant question?
The Bearlopes!
You've both done terrible things to each other. You claim they burn things to ashes, and you mulch things to dust. The circle of life ends at some point. Everything ends at some point. And I think now it's time for something in this room to end, whether it be me or you. I think we both live long enough.
So, you still believe me to be... How disappointing. I would have loved to have one you as my faithful servant. Oh well.
Dacius be a servant.
Hang on a
I
second,
haven't
guys.
had a
I'll be
good
right back.
fight in time. So, a gust of wind, powerful wind, could be felt. And even though she is barely lifted off of the ground, it is only due to her sheer size and the size of the room. But she is now in the air, flying. Athena is still in the bee cage. So I guess it's time to fight.
Well, I don't think there's much I can do because I've had my magic power drained, and I just gave a
Right.
just gave a bunch of.
I will say now that pretty much because your cover's been blown, your illusion is now gone.
Yeah, I'm. I got that much.
So yeah, well, I just wanted to make it,
I would
put it
like
out there.
to throw a recommendation that Athena still has some magical power.
She does, and you can still use your cantrips. So surprisingly enough, you can still use your Eldritch Blast.
Oh,
Yeah, I know. I mean, I probably should say you shouldn't be able to do that, but I mean, the game lets you do it. So
I'm just gonna throw some recommendations. Either Athena try and get herself out, or someone try and get Athena out.
I
I'm
have
s-
an idea. I
I
have a
would.
plan.
I mean, if you want my personal thought, I would say since Lashana is definitely the most acrobatic, she should probably be the one to try to do it.
Yeah.
Be-
I'm not saying I could.
Yeah, no.
See, but I have a plan to get all of us out.
Well,
Oh.
no, I'm talking about like getting you.
Yeah,
out of
but
your
I have
current
a plan.
situation. Well, does it involve you not being stung to death?
Yes, you idiot.
That was the Audrey and Athena answer. Do you have a plan? Yes, you idiot.
Okay,
Well, that's Audrey knows.
okay.
Well, I guess, because since she is stuck up in the cage, we all do go before she does, but she can say her plan.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm not saying my plan.
Oh, okay.
It ain't
All
being
right.
contradicted.
All right. Well, in that case, I guess since Dacius is the one who had the epic speech, he gets to go first.
I don't really know what I can do.
Dacius.
You know what though? Just to stick with the whole theme of me not really caring anymore, can I throw something?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can.
I want to see if I can just throw something at the wasps to get them pissed at me.
Oh.
That's a dumb idea.
It's dumb, but I mean,
I
just
understand what he's going at because
I
that will
just-
actually help my plan.
Well, I just made an entire speech about me not like.
he pretty much said like, at this point, I know someone's going to die, so it's either going to be me or it's going to be you.
But as much as I dislike Athena, I feel like she in this moment is a bit less. She's not quite at her time yet.
And you know what? To be fair, he is the reason she is currently put up in.
Also, to be fair,
To be fair, I was the one who yelled.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all
alternative-
at fault here, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying I think this is a really if you want to do that, which again you can totally do that. You can throw anything. That is a really good like character moment right there.
I want
That's
to
very noble.
Yes,
as much
because
as-
it shows that Dacius is not above throwing away his pride in order to
I
like
want
do
take-
right.
because I know I have my quarterstaff, and I feel like even though I'm not that strong, that would be the thing to do the most damage. To throw.
Yeah, considering that, like, I think that is your only weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
I
is
could-
your only like actual weapon.
I could throw a spell book, and that might piss them off, but it's not going to do much else.
Well, real quick, let me just look at your inventory just to see what you have. Yeah, that's pretty much all you got besides a staff and
Don't I also
your.
have a-
Oh yeah, you want to throw a blanket on them? That'll get them real mad.
But I want to take my quarterstaff and throw it at the giant
Right.
ball.
Okay, roll a 1d20. Your dexterity is pretty low.
Yeah. I didn't roll terribly good.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't see you roll.
I rolled
Okay.
13.
Okay, so Dacius,
Really?
What?
Move. Audrey knocked down something off that wall.
That was painful on the toe. Ah. Ow.
what a scream of pain that is. Ah.
You knocked
Anyway.
down my painting.
Can we have
Uh,
a tavern scene after this?
Oh, of course.
If we
for
feel
gay
like-
painting.
I know
Like-
it's gonna start to get a bit late, but I mean, if we survive this,
No,
Oh, you
about-
meant. Oh, okay. I don't think we'll have a tavern scene, but I think we will have like a very uplifting, like scene going back into the caravan.
it's
'Cause-
something
Because
like
we're
that.
still gonna, because like it's still like
Yeah.
it's slowly becoming morning, but it's
Yeah.
still night outside. So Dacius takes out his quarterstaff, which he hasn't had out the entire time, and he chucks it as hard as he can at the ball of hornets. And while it doesn't hit quite as hard as he would have hoped, it does hit the very edge of it, which of course angers that side of the hornets. So they turn around, which makes all the others turn around, and then Athena slowly feels the ground under, which wasn't ground to begin with, start to go away. And they are, I guess, I'll roll for damage. So roll d6, Kevin, just to see how much.
All right.
I mean, of course, it only hit like 2 of them. Okay,
Yeah.
so it hit like 2 of them. So 2 of them, but there's like, I mean, there's a lot. There's
Yeah.
like, yeah, there's a lot of enemies here.
The
yeah.
point wasn't really to do damage.
Yeah. So Athena is currently falling.
Yeah, that's.
Falling to the ground.
Can Paul come and like grab me up?
Right now,
I completely
Paul
forgot he
Paul
existed.
is kind of conflicted right now. He doesn't really understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I gotta see whose speed is faster right now. Cause again, I can't.
That's not. I'm falling to my death.
No response.
Does Tessa want to save you?
Tessa, do you want to save me? Tessa said she'll save me.
Okay. Well, guess what? Gander has higher
Best
speed, so
friends
he's gonna do it.
forever.
Oh, Gander's going to save me.
Yeah, because he's got higher.
The
Well, he's gonna try anyway.
Well, he should be the first to do it anyways, because
Yeah,
he's the
since he-
bodyguard.
Yeah.
Hey,
Ow.
Audrey,
Wow.
Tomorrow,
I
If
got
his
this thing right
dexterity
next
was
to
not
me.
as high as it was,
it needs
wow, there was there
I know,
there
but
might
only
have
stuff's in
been
the dryer.
an Athena
There's my stuff in the
splat
dryer.
on the ground.
Wait, I died.
No.
No, it's because I was it's because I if Gander's dexterity was any lower, yeah.
We have been, like, just making it by this entire
Oh
time.
yeah, these have been some terrible. Like your 20 roll, best roll so far.
I have so far had 2 20s, I think. 2 20 rolls.
Yeah,
My
that's right. Because you got the 20 on your one spell, didn't you?
Yeah.
So because then that just immediately blew the guy's head off.
See you.
I'm gonna clean your room.
So
Can you get in that?
so Gander, of course,
This is my
as
stuff.
soon as he sees Athena start to fall, he dashes with as much vigor as he can muster, leaps into the air, grabs her, and then he falls to the. She's okay, but he skids on the ground.
He's got armor, he'll be fine.
Yeah, he
Yeah, 'cause
he
the
doesn't.
thing is, I
He
don't have
has he has some of the sticky residue in his mouth instead of because normally it'd be dirt, but there's not dirt in there.
Yeah.
So that's pretty gross.
Mhm.
You're saved, Athena.
Contacts.
All right.
If not, you're going to be the blind child. I can't.
Okay. Wait, I'm the blind child that can't.
I know, right? We're all blind children.
Glasses whenever she goes whitewater rafting.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so whose turn is it next?
It should be Lashana's if she can do.
Lashana,
What does Lashana want to do?
what do you want to do?
What's going on?
We're attacking.
A giant queen bee.
I want to stab it.
Oh, we
Really?
actually, and I don't know if she wants to do this. Oh yeah, she's got freaking 10 of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so hear
Say she
me
can throw a
out.
dagger.
Hear me out. And this is only if she wants to. We can end this in one attack if Lashana decides she wants to do it.
Yes, do it. Yeah, I want to do it.
Throw.
I want
all
to
of
do
your
it. Oh
oil
my god, I
flares,
want to do it.
And then
Oh.
Athena lights them.
Sure.
Athena's like, oh my god, I want to do it.
This is
Sure.
amazing.
Throw them on.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So, Lashana decides she's had enough of these bee guys. Like she's done. So she remembers that she has 10 oil flasks for just such an occasion. So she chucks them all. They all fly up. They fly near, they fly near Dacius because he's the closest, as the hornets are flying at him. So they crack on the ground, and the queen stares down, because at that second she realizes, oh shit.
I kind of want to say something cool, but I can't think of anything cool to say.
Gavin, why don't you show
No.
Brainios, bro,
I
and think of
let
something?
me just check, because I
Damn.
do think Athena has fire. thing.
I have firebolt.
Yeah.
That's
I
right,
mean,
you do have
really.
fireball. Okay,
Yeah.
so it is Athena's turn since she is back on the ground.
All right, I'm pulling out my wand.
Okay, so
Smoke weed every day.
I'm just going to ask this. You are absolutely sure
I don't know.
this is how you want it to go?
Okay, then,
Hold on, I'm thinking. But Dacius, we can't kill Dacius.
It might just have to be the price to pay.
No, we can't kill Gavin.
Might
I
just
don't
be
want Gavin to die.
Let me to think of another cool speech before I die.
okay.
I'm
Yeah.
just
I love
Yeah,
you
here,
all.
just-
Kaboom.
Here,
cool.
I will say, like, I know what will happen for this scenario. So I'm just saying, if it's
Okay.
got to be done, it's got to be done.
Okay.
Can
alright,
I say
have an
one
idea.
thing? Can I say one thing that I want to do? That doesn't necessarily affect the outcome, but just cool points.
Yeah.
I want to run towards the queen,
Okay.
and I want to just
Move.
wind up a punch.
Oh. Okay. Okay. So,
$50 and whatever odd cents.
Athena takes out her wand and she is readying
That's shipping
a
it.
firebolt. And the queen is like looking because she knows what's gonna happen. Like she's from whatever kingdom that's close. She knows what's about to happen. And as she is in shock, and so are the other hornets, because since of course they see the queen is scared, they're scared. And while they are in terror, Dacius, since he's already like, too close to the oil anyway, he decides to run up and try to land a punch.
Oh, gods of Olympus.
You're gonna have to roll, Gavin.
Oh. Even
Gavin,
if I
do
roll
you, like-
terribly.
This would rock if it gave you another 20.
Oh my god!
Yes! Yes!
So Dacius decides if this is how he's gonna go out, he's going to make sure she knows it. So he runs up, leaps into the air, and with all the strength he can muster, he punches her so hard in the eye that her blood can be seen spewing out.
Damn.
Pleasant, right?
That's fucking insane.
I know.
I'm just trying to
Nice.
make sure that I'm not rolling it any differently. This is
And-
insane.
And like our P-bot knows. It knows like, oh, okay, you want
Yeah.
this to be epic? All right, fine, here. So
Epic.
So Dacius is on top of the queen. He's staring down at her. She's been staring down at him this entire time. But with her eye bleeding out, he is standing on top of her, looking down. Now, do you
All
want
right.
to say anything cool?
I guess it was time for both of us.
right.
She says nothing back.
Okay, and I'm going to yell something, but let's hope it works. I'm gonna yell at Paul. Okay, Paul, get Dacius, and then I'm going to use my firebolt and light it on fire.
Okay, so Paul hears her, and he, even though he's been confused and conflicted this whole time, he wants to follow his friend. So he flies over. However, the firebolt goes off. It hits the oil, and as Dacius grabs Athena and he grabs Lashana and he is dashing out of there as fast as he can, the flames can be seen. Like, they can feel it. They're not looking back, but they can feel the fire. All the hornets are going crazy because they know they can hear the queen. She's crying in agony as they're all running out. And as they finally get out of the hive, they see it burning.
And I'm
Hey.
crying.
And Gander puts down Athena and he puts down Lashana, staring at the burning hive.
Now, I have a question. Was this a plot? Did Gavin want to die?
No.
Okay.
No, I will be 100% honest with you. This entire Barrowlope, Wyvern Hornet Civil War happened on a whim. I did not plan any of this to happen.
Okay.
This has to be the best story that has been just on a whim.
Like,
The
this-
best first dungeon.
Bro, this was epic. So Gander's staring at the flaming hive.
Dacius!
He did what he had to do.
Oh,
Dacius!
oh, Dacius.
So
Mr. Ant-Man!
as Athena's
Mr.
crying, I don't know what Lashana's doing. I'm gonna say that Lashana isn't so heartless that she can't feel at least a little sympathy. I'm not saying she's gonna be. I'm not saying she's crying like Athena is, but I'm saying she feels at least like, man, I actually kind of like that guy.
Yeah, but like I'm not crying.
Yeah. I'm not saying she's crying. I'm saying she's just like a little like, man, this kind of sucks.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. But life is life, and no one gets out of it.
But then
That's
as
actually how I feel about real life.
But then as Athena's crying, they can hear a familiar buzzing noise. And as they look up, they see a charred Paul carrying Dacius, who is also charred. And then Paul falls to the ground, twitching.
No. R.I.P.
Well, that sucks, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it? And he was never to be found again.
Gavin, I guess you here, roll a, I think it was a 1d20, like a saving throw.
Now watch, he's gonna get a 1 on this one.
Yeah, you can do a saving throw.
Oh,
That's good. All right, so Dacius, you are on 1 HP.
I can run back and get a healing
Dacius
potion.
is coughing smoke, but he's still alive. Just barely. Like, he can barely see. Like, he can barely hear. He can barely see. He can't move his body, but he is alive.
Okay, can I give him one of my healing potions?
Uh,
I don't know if that. I mean,
the healing potion, it would heal some of his wounds, but he would still be like it wouldn't heal him. It would just make him not at 1 HP.
Well, isn't that a good thing?
I mean, it is. So here, I'll let you use one. How many do you have left?
I think I have 8 left.
Go ahead.
Ooh. You have 2 left.
Oh.
Yeah, you're running
no.
low.
Yeah, sorry, I got 6. I was thinking I got 10. I don't know why.
So she does try giving him a healing potion, which does clear his lungs so he can talk. I will bring you up to 5 HP. But like your body is still really damaged. So Dacius can talk now, but he can barely hear, he can barely see, and he's still not fully recovered.
We have to get him somewhere. We have to get him to a cleric.
By the way, Paul is also there. He's twitching.
Oh my god.
Am I gonna use my last healing potion on Paul? Yes, I'm using my healing potion on Paul. He's my friend. Wait, is there a possibility that Paul could turn us?
Do you want to give him the healing potion?
Well, first I want to know if there's a possibility of him.
I need you to give him the healing potion first.
Uh-huh.
I ain't giving him a healing potion.
Okay.
I don't know if he can turn on us.
Okay. Dude, I'm just
Okay.
saying, like, do you really want to give him one, or do you really not?
I do, but I want to know if he's gonna turn on us.
He will not turn on you if you give him a healing potion.
Okay, I'm gonna give him a healing potion.
Alright. So,
I'm out of healing potions.
Athena, after she sees Paul, she runs over to him and she takes out one of her healing potion.
Really? Oh. Okay.
But she thinks this is for the greater good. However, as she was trying to give it to him, she sees that he spits it back out.
Bruh.
And he looks at her, and she can see the sorrow. Now, Dacius can still understand him. So, and thanks to them both being insects, Dacius can actually hear what he's saying.
Okay, wait, what did you just say? Because I swear I just heard you say, since they're still incest.
I said insects.
Okay, because that's not what I heard.
Wow, Tessa.
Tessa's crazy today.
Anyway,
and what Dacius overhears is he says, "My queen is dead. There is no reason to keep going.
Dang, that's...
I'm sorry, my friend."
I'm over here dying.
And his eyes close.
Uh-oh. Ooh, Lashana, I will kill you.
Gander picks up Dacius.
I curl up in a little ball next to Paul.
Well,
Lay there and die?
And cry. And cry. And cry.
Come on. Let's go back to the cavern.
Let's not.
What else are we going to do? We
Kill
need
the Barrowlows.
to get Dacius somewhere safe.
Yes, and Paul is dead.
And we're all going to die if we don't get him healed.
Take him to the caravan.
Fine, I'll go, but I hope Dacius dies on the way.
So he brings them all back to the caravan, and they all sit in the caravan in silence until Dacius finally mutters a word.
I'm trying to think of a word to mutter.
Wait, what did Dacius say?
We don't know yet.
Oh.
Bug man for a bug man. Should have been the other way around.
Glad you're still alive, Dacius.
But Paul's dead.
Yeah, we're all gonna die if we don't.
We did go. We're at the caravan. I'm gonna go clean up my tent.
Yeah. What
and
is it,
the nice
Dacius?
food that I had prepared.
In the back of the caravan.
Okay.
Fourth bag
The chasing
to
fire.
the right.
The big one or the little one?
Cheap imported whiskey, half empty. Yeah. Did you get me it?
Poor
Sure.
Dacia.
Sure thing.
Facing fire.
Gander gets up and he brings Dacius the bottle. Here you are.
Thanks.
No problem.
All right, I cleaned up my stuff.
All right. So, now they're all in the. Athena's, of course, she's very quiet because of everything that's just happened. Lashana, at this point, is just bored. I think she's probably poking Nigel's at the moment lifeless corpse,
Yeah.
and Dacius and Gander, they're just kind of like staring out the window, the caravan.
Oh yeah, she tells me all the time, I wish you were on my team. I wish I could get you for my downline.
You know, that was a
There's your
very noble thing you did back there.
that is cute.
I wouldn't consider it that. Stupid, maybe.
But sometimes being brave causes you to be stupid.
But I appreciate the gesture.
I found Krista a 6-pack of the bars.
Well, I guess we're both stupid then.
Pack of the flirtation.
I guess we're all pretty stupid.
Yeah.
Guess Nigel's a heavy sleeper.
Yeah, he hasn't been up at all. Come on, man, you missed all that. Maybe,
I don't think he's gonna wake up.
I'm gonna try.
maybe it's better if he didn't witness all that.
In your closet, Lord.
It'll, it'll be one hell of a story to tell him tomorrow.
Hell of a story indeed.
And then switch out the apricot one.
Besides the hell.
And then I'll make you one.
Gander,
Not very.
Yeah,
We have-
Dacius?
never in my
You can
life
toss in your
have
ass.
I
Your tush. Sorry.
experienced anything
Or you can toss in your tush.
anything that's burned hotter than fire.
Well,
Other than hate.
Post office. Monday.
I've never been in such a situation. I mean,
That's up.
sure, in my time, death is around every corner, but whenever there's no corners, it's only death. Well,
So now you gotta do that.
I don't have enough place
well,
in my so
Here, here, here.
you
I
can't
don't
sit
know
here
what
for
I'm
too
saying.
long. Not much a reason anyways.
why don't we just stay out here for tonight?
Yeah, like the apricot bars.
I don't know if I even have the strength to oppose.
And I think Athena really needs it. He turns back and sees Athena, who is currently curled up. She's trying to look like she's asleep, but they can easily tell that she's quietly weeping as well as planning Dacius' demise.
That bug did a stupid
Your
thing.
closet, get it to looking like shitty clothes.
Yeah, but thanks to him, we all made it out.
he's my friend. Why can't we bury him?
He's dead.
I heard him while he burnt.
What'd you do to him?
You did?
I said heard.
Oh. What did he
Wait.
say?
Yeah.
Imagine all your life, everything you do, centered around one thing. All your life's goals,
I sold 4 to the other lady.
everything you stand for,
Like, I want more if you get them.
centered around that thing.
But I didn't give her all 8 of
To
them.
watch it. No, burn it down. He did what he did, not just to save me.
Well,
He didn't see
they had the
that
opportunity.
it's much worth living without the queen.
They never wrong.
Yeah, Gander. Even though they aren't sure why, he kind of looks down, like he's reflecting on something. And they couldn't hear it, but he mutters under his breath, "I know how that feels."
Well,
Gander, why can't we bury him?
Because what are we gonna bury him with?
Lashana shovel.
wait, she does have a shovel, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Well, if
Yeah.
those bearlopes saw us, they might attack.
Yeah, then I'll kill all of them.
They'd kill you first. They'd kill us all.
I don't care. Paul, he was a good friend.
He was a good friend.
Every moment matters. Yeah.
Better than all of
And
you.
one thing is Dacius is just slowly sort of turning a chip of yellow carapace in his hands. Stupid creature did a stupid thing.
Did you want to die?
Right. Girls, it's 10 o'clock.
Okay.
And then, so for the rest of the night, everyone stayed quiet until eventually they all went to sleep.
Well, after I pay you off.
Okay, are we stopping?
And that is the end of our session. The first dungeon.
I'm gonna be honest, you know. This
Alrighty, guys.
is
No, I'm going.
like fucking pan-ultimate or like ultimate fucking dungeon material.
This was peak.
Like just the story, the well, not the story, but the events, how perfectly everything worked out.
Yes, everything came together, and I know none of you are gonna believe this.
What's
All
that?
of this completely ad-libbed.
Yeah,
Really?
I made this up as we went along.
So
You
we
know,
almost
I feel
done, or
like-
what are we
I
doing?
feel like. I mean, we're done at this point.
Yeah.
Audrey and Tessa gotta go.
Yeah.
Bye.
See ya, Audrey.
Goodbye.
Bye, Tessa.
What I would like to say is I'm starting to trust in this
I-
RP bot
See ya.
to help us out.
Like
It
that
is-
was just so perfect.
Yeah.
well,
like-
it is,
I mean, the way it turned out was pretty awesome. I
Okay.
mean, let's face it.
So, for the moments that we needed to be tense, it gave us like the bare minimum to get by.
But
Yeah.
for moments where we would have loved it to be epic,
It was way over the
It
top,
did.
wasn't it?
it allowed it. Like
Yeah.
that like and that like yeah, it like I'm going to be honest, nothing really would have changed if you got like any other number. But the fact I mean, yeah, he wouldn't have like it wouldn't have been as epic and especially if you got something like a 1 where
Yeah.
I don't know, it would have been like a really futile like maybe he punched her but then she punched him instead or something. But like the fact that it was just like, oh, you want this to be like epic, don't worry. Full on 20.
Man,
Like
I have
but yeah,
gotten
that
20.
freaking story though.
That freaking douchebag Pac-Man.
like that was
That
so
douchebag.
good.
I'm wanting to have something relevant with that piece of the bunch.
Yeah, I'm really glad you did
Yeah.
keep that. I will I don't know if I'm able to like add in custom things.
Well, no,
but
I don't
I'm-
even want a custom thing. I know what I'm.
Hey,
what I
Corey.
need to do with it.
Oh no, I just meant like to put it in your inventory. Like I
Do
actually
you want the
just
clips
to have like
from tonight?
Carapace piece.
Well,
If I can do that.
yeah, but there is something that I want to do with it.
If not, I will just put it in my notes for
Yeah.
for tonight, which I will have to put in soon. You can just message me
Okay.
if you want like something specific. Just like message me so I can give you the okay on that, because I don't want to spoil things because I know Audrey's getting into it.
Yeah.
Now, would you like to know the alternative scenarios, or at least the main alternative scenarios I thought of?
Yes.
Okay, so first alternative scenario. If you left them there, and we all went through, no issues about that. When we got to the Queen's chamber, if we tried to, well, I would assume we would try, not immediately just be like, Queen, we want to kill you.
Yeah.
Like, we try to talk first. The Barrelopes would have barged into the room with, a whole bunch of the Hornets after them. And they would have been like, one, you left us. Why'd you guys leave us here? And, oh, you're the Queen? Okay, we're going to kill you. Then that would have had us. That fight would have been different.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would have ended the same. Probably not, because there were a whole bunch of Hornets behind us, so we couldn't really escape if we caused a fire.
Yeah.
And then the other scenario is if you actually accepted the Queen's offer, we could have fought the Barrelopes instead, and we wouldn't have had to kill any of the Wyvern Hornets, and we could have fought the Barrelopes.
One thing I will say is, what I was hoping to do with the whole offering the Barrelope is I was hoping that, maybe she's I was hoping I could get her to, take it, above her head or something, or if she took it above her head, and try and, wake the Barrelope up. Because I was thinking she was more or less going to try and eat it, just straight up. So I was like, oh.
Yeah,
If,
I got that, but subversion of expectations.
And honestly, I'm kind of glad it turned out the way it did, because
I'm super glad it turned out the way it did.
Now, Dacius has done something he can actually regret. Because nothing in his past is relevant at all.
Yeah, nothing in his past, even if he did some bad thing that happens. This event really does affect everybody except Nigel and Lashana, because Lashana doesn't care and Nigel was knocked out the entire time.
Yeah.
But Athena, a friend that she really, really adored, died to save someone who she didn't hate, but she didn't really like either.
Yeah.
So that's of course going to mess her up. For Gander, even though we aren't quite sure what it is yet, it is hinted that Paul's outlook on life is similar to his in some way.
Yeah.
So this all affect, and of course, seeing how Dacius did sacrifice himself like that, of course, will change him. And then Dacius, he has multiple things to. He got two creatures who, at that point, he knew as innocent, dead. And then he had another creature who he didn't know that much, but was still was still liked him to some extent,
Yeah.
kill itself for his sake when
Yeah.
he was ready to die.
Yeah.
Like, yes, this was without a doubt the best first dungeon ever
Yeah.
that I have done.
You know, I'm glad I recorded it because there's some pretty good parts
Thank
in
you,
here.
Hunter.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Like this, this was so good.
It was.
Yeah. But I'm almost considering not even making the carapace be like a special item.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna.
I
tell you-
think. Yeah, you can message. I will just say though, of course, we'll talk about it in messages because that'll make it no spoilers. But I think even if it's not anything, I think what it could be is it will forever be a sign. Like Dacius will look at it
Yeah.
and
Like-
just like this will remind him of
I've-
who he has killed.
Well,
Like even though like I see for Dacius, he doesn't view it as this guy saved me. He views it as I killed him.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't think I have to worry too much about spoilers here because Audrey isn't here.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess. Oh, I'd still rather just
All right.
message.
Yeah.
'Cause it's also got a little late for
Yep.
just talking.
Yeah.
So I'll get off, but yeah, we will definitely talk about this.
When do you
And,
guys want to play next?
I think the weekend because Audrey said because Audrey and Tessa are going to that camp
Yeah.
Yeah.
this week, so they're not going to be able to play until I think next Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
We
Oh.
might want to try like next Saturday and maybe next Sunday if we can.
Yeah.
oh my gosh, Hunter, stop!
Stop what?
Stop trying to add this chick.
But
What did she seriously try to hang on?
if she still has the invite, then she can keep inviting herself.
Do you
Um,
what do you want me to tell her? Like,
delete the message that contains the invite.
Yes, please. If you want her to join, ask us tomorrow. 'Cause
okay.
none of us are going to be on tonight, so just
Okay.
I'm gonna ban her.
Okay.
I banned her.
okay.
All
Thank
right.
you.
She can't join the server anymore, even if someone did give her an invite.
Okay, thank you. And we will we'll address that tomorrow.
All right.
But yeah, I will see you in DMs soon, Kevin.
All
And
right.
I'll message
And,
you
yeah,
anytime.
so
Corey.
this was super fun,
It was.
and I can't wait to rewatch it whenever Hunter uploads it.
Yep. Hey, dude, do you want the clips too? Because I'll try to email you the clips. Or you can try to
Yeah.
download the video and edit it. I don't know.
Can you
which would be
upload
the best?
thing to Google Drive or something? I
Yeah,
might want to download them too.
Yeah, can you do that and just like send it through Discord?
I can try to. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
All right.
Alright,
See
yep.
you, Gavin.
See you later.
And there we go. All right. So here's the thing. We've had. Well, there was a girl named Rochelle, and you probably already heard about that, but yeah. So I added her, me being the crazy guy. Well, not crazy, but just me being me. I added her into the chat, so we'll probably discuss that some other time. But anyway, you guys want more? Hit me up. You can find my channel on YouTube. It's Hunter's Technical Fun, and that's in all caps. If you want to subscribe, you can. If you want to like it, go ahead, be my guest. And this is D&D, and you have been watching the D&D podcast, or whatever I decide to call it. But this is D&D, and this is Hunter's Technical Fun. signing off.